Hey everyone, welcome back to Iguana Gaming. I'm the Iguana, and today guys, we have received a new ARK mobile update. So, today guys, we are actually on one of my servers because there are a lot of features that are multiplayer specific that have come to the game in this winter update for 2019. So, a couple of things that have changed. First off, there is now officially a weekly dungeon pursuit. So if you go into your available pursuits, you can scroll through. You'll see this weekly dungeon. If you start that, it does say you need to complete a dungeon. Now, if you do that, you will get a reward of about 25 EERIE element every time you complete the dungeon. You can do this quest once a week. And guys, I think you're going to want to do this because the next thing, and this is really cool, is that we have a new implant graft. And I have been hoping that they would add something like this for a while. So let's go ahead and head into accessories, implant grafts in the store. And then you can see here, you must have completed 10 weekly dungeons. So we do have 10 left on this server. But this 10 weekly dungeons, guys, does lead to this. This is the EERIE Implant Graft. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I'm super excited to have this thing come to the game. I really can't wait to get it. I'm definitely going to get it on multiple of my games. And it does look like it has the light effect of the Ultimacy skin. So it's actually really cool because it gives you kind of this colored lightning effect, but it also still gives you the light bonuses that you get from the Ultimacy skin, which you get by doing the daily pursuits. Okay, guys. So we're being attacked right now. Let's go ahead and head up here for a second. I'd rather not mess with him at the moment. Let's just head up the hill a little bit. There's a lot more things to go through in this particular update. Alright guys, so there's a couple more things that have come to the name change stores, to the store. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these items. First off, we'll scroll all the way to the bottom, guys. Now, next to the server transfer ticket, there's also two new types of tickets that you can get in the store. One of these is a single player transfer ticket. So this ticket, guys, is specifically for people who want to leave a multiplayer server. So if you are done on a multiplayer server, or if you really, if your server's being shut down, or for whatever reason, what you can do is, this is only 25 amber, so this is quite cheap. You can get this pretty quickly by watching a few ads. You can purchase this ticket, and then you can transfer your survivor and items and your tames to a single player game. This is really cool. I think this is going to be a super useful thing. It lets you keep all of your purchases that you made. It lets you keep all the tames that you have bred up, and it lets you permanently store those on a single player game. This is a one-way transfer, guys. You cannot transfer back, so do be aware of that. If you go to single player, you cannot bring it back to multiplayer later. And then on top of that, you cannot join the server you transferred from for 30 days. So that's a really big restriction. If you leave a server, you have to stay off of that server for 30 days. Even if you create a new survivor, you won't be able to join it. So do be aware that there is that restriction. But it's still really cool. I think that's a really nice way for people to be able to keep their items and tames if they're having like a server shutdown, or if they know they're not going to be able to play on multiplayer for a while. You can put it on single player and it'll be safe. Alright guys, so this other ticket down here is the name change ticket. Now, when they added the toast item in the last update, I had some suspicions that they were going to add some of the other items that they had mentioned in the voting poll that they did for what items to add, and they are starting to do that, it looks like. So we have a name change ticket, guys. So if you really hate your username, you can now change it. It's only usable once per day, so you can only change your name once a day. You have to purchase it for 100 amber, so this is quite pricey. That's going to be a pretty big ask, but if you really want to change your name, you can use this. Now, there is a restriction for this, guys. The name change will not take effect until after the server's daily restart. So if you use this ticket, don't worry if your name doesn't change right away. It will change after the server restart. So do be aware that this is a thing, and I'm like super excited about this. Now, if you are worried about griefing, guys, It looks like Wardrum is maintaining logs of name changes on official servers for moderation purposes, so you won't be able to use this to grief very easily, just as an FYI. It's not going to work, so don't even try it. Alright, guys. So those are those major things. Now, there's also new statues, which I'm actually super excited about. So, if we go ahead and go into decor, we can go into statues, guys. And we have some new statues. We have an Anki statue, a Rex statue, a Stego, a Tapejara, and a Batgoyle, which I actually think I want some Batgoyles, but really cool new statues. I think the Rex is going to be a really popular one, as well as the Batgoyle, because it kind of looks like a gargoyle. Definitely want to make a haunted house with this thing. All of these are really cool new statues. I'm really excited that they added some of these. So new stuff to decorate your base with, and possibly we could even get these from dungeon runs, which is going to be great. Okay, now guys, on to some of the other things. So now you can now search your tames list. So you'll see if we go to your tamed creatures list, here I have mine. You can now search your tames list for something that you're looking for. So in this case, let's just go ahead and say I am searching for, I don't even know, maybe one of my Rexes. Can I just type in Rex? There we go. So it'll sort by creature, as you can see here, because none of my Rexes are actually named Rex. It will also sort by creature name. So it's really cool, guys, because you can actually use this to more quickly find whatever creature you are looking for. So if I type in just Griff, all of the griffins that belong to my tribe are going to pop up. So very cool feature. I'm really glad they added that, especially for tribes that get something like 200 or more creatures, which I have had happen before. It does get to be quite a lot, so it is a really cool feature that they've added that search bar. It's going to make life a lot easier. They've also added a Geopolymer cement pillar. Now, I'm not going to show this off because this survivor isn't high enough level for it, but you can learn the Geopolymer cement pillar at level 91. It has the same height restriction as the Geopolymer foundation, which is, I believe, 2 walls higher than a behemoth gate. So it's about 14 walls, if I remember correctly. It's also the same height as tech, but it's a little bit easier to get a hold of. So you can definitely learn that and do some good stuff with that. All right, guys. Okay, so they've also made it so that you can now actually switch seats in multiplayer. So you can switch to your passenger seat in multiplayer, which is one of the reasons I pulled a Griffin out. I'm now officially on driving my Griffin, and now I'm a passenger on my Griffin. So there's this little chair button whenever a creature has a passenger seat available. You click that and you will move to one of the passenger seats and you can rotate around them. Very useful, which means, guys, now you can actually use Tapejaras and be on their passenger seat, which I'm really excited about because I may use that method to try to tame a Quetzal at some point and show you guys how it's done because it's super fun. Okay. I think that's most of these things, guys. There are a lot of other things that have been added. You can now discard premium items if they are rugs or statues. So if you do want to destroy a rug or a statue, you can now do that if you have too many of them. I don't have too many of them, so I'm not going to do that, but you can now permanently destroy a premium item like that. If you have too many from doing dungeons, you can now permanently destroy those. Okay, so the big change, guys, the really big changes to this particular update. We're going to go ahead and start with the first one, which is the flyer thing. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off my Griffin here. Actually, let me see if I can get him to follow me. Come here. Alright, so Iguana's gonna follow me. I'm gonna whistle stop. Alright, so he's gonna stop in midair, and if I whistle stop again, he lands. So guys, they've added a landing function to creatures. So if you whistle stop twice on a creature that's flying, it will force it to land right where it is. I think that's incredibly useful. I'm really, really excited that they've added that. It works super smoothly, so that is really, really cool. I'm really glad they added that. All right, now slightly more interesting, guys, is they've tried to change the PvP meta in this update. Now, this is a bit of a trick. So this server is actually a PvP server. A little bit of a crazy trick that they've put in here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do here. We're going to attack this mammoth and then wait for it to attack me. There we go. You get this buff in the upper right-hand corner, guys. Damage slows you down. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this guy a few times. Can we fight you? Or are you going to hit me again? He's not hitting me very quick, but guys, essentially, look how much slower my griffin is after I've been hit versus when I haven't been hit. So this is my speed after I've been hit. Wait for the buff to stop, and then that's normal speed. So essentially, there is a speed debuff on flyers now in PvP modes. If you are taking damage on a flyer, it is going to slow you down over time. So I don't think it ever brings you to a complete stop from all of the testing that I've done. I think it slows you down to about 100% movement speed on your creature, which is quite slow, especially for a creature like an RG or a Quetzal. But yeah, any flyer is now going to be slowed down when it takes damage. That is a big deal, guys, because I know the current PvP meta is to soak with Tapajaras. That's no longer possible, or if you are going to do it, you have to do it very carefully and try to heal between rounds. It's going to be a lot more difficult to soak turrets on a flyer now, which I'm actually kind of happy about because I've been wanting to see some new PvP metas in the game, and I think this will, I think this is definitely going to mix it up. I bet some people are going to be angry about it, but I think there's probably a few people who are very excited to try out new PvP metas and who are pretty excited that their bases are temporarily safe from the Tapejara soakers. So that is definitely a thing. Be aware of that, guys. Start breeding up your Stegos, your Trikes, your Brontos, because you're going to have to find a new way to soak turrets. Or figure out how to bring enough meat along that you can heal your tame in between stuff. You might have to raid in pairs now if you're going to try to flyer raid, just so that you can keep those turrets soaking while one of you heals. So, yeah, guys, that is it so far. This is an absolutely insane update, very, very full of some very cool things. I'm really excited about some of the changes they've added. I'm really, really excited to get that EERIE implant graft. That is high on my list, guys. Definitely going to get that in the near future here. Only 10 weeks. Only 10 weeks. Alright, guys. So, I think that is going to do it for this episode. So, if you did find yourself enjoying this one at any point, guys, please do remember to hit that like button because it seriously helps me out. And if you want to see more content like this, you can, of course, subscribe. I will catch you all in the next one. Signing off. This is the Iguana.